The San Jose Sharks make multiple moves today by acquiring a player from waivers, and we also see them make a trade with a division rival. We're going to break all this down and more later on in this episode. Before we get into it, I just want to give a huge shout out to everyone watching this video. If you're part of the 71% that's not subscribed yet and you're enjoying the Sharks content, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's completely free and we'll keep you up to date on everything to do with the Sharks. But with that, Casey, let's hop straight into the first topic today, where we've seen the San Jose Sharks claim Walker Duehr off waivers from the Calgary Flames. Now, going into this, we've seen that Nico Sturm has been placed on injury reserves, and this is how they acquired Walker Duehr to get him on the roster. We will talk on the Sturm injury shortly, but looking at Walker Duehr, he has had some successful seasons with the Calgary Flames, and especially in the AHL. Casey, looking at this guy, what's your initial reaction?
Yeah, I mean, like first off, it's a kind of guy who doesn't jump off the page, but you kind of see he's coming to your team. You do a little bit of deep dive into him, and that's what I did here today. I mean, this guy's almost a point per game player in the AHL, a player that Calgary Flames fans hated to see go here today. So when you have a fan base upset at a player leaving, you know you're getting a good player here. And this guy might not be a fantastic, crazy move, but he's one of those really, really sneaky, solid moves that is going to cause a big impact here, especially for the San Jose Barracuda in the AHL. This is a team that's looking to go win a championship this year, and bringing in a almost point per game player in the league is definitely going to help them with that. But also, this is a guy who's played 16 NHL games. Yes, he only had 1 point this season with the Calgary Flames in the NHL, but at times of injury, maybe later on this season, maybe we see someone go down. Walker Duehr is a guy here that can come in and step up for this team.
And I mean, looking at this, I was kind of looking around the Calgary Flames' reaction to this, and fans had the biggest thing with Duehr, he hasn't been able to unlock his potential. This is a big, fast, hard-working player that is even harder working on the forecheck, and I think this fits perfectly on the Sharks team as a fourth liner, where they can give him more time. Maybe they even bump him up to the third line, depending on his addition with this team. But looking at the Sharks lineup, maybe we see Colin Graff being sent back down to the Barracuda, because like you said, they're trying to make a push to win the AHL playoffs, which we will touch on shortly. But maybe we see a guy like Grundstrom move up in this lineup, and we can see Duehr get into this lineup to work with the San Jose Sharks. But Casey, looking at this, and I know Colin Graff is a fan favorite, and Duehr is just a recently acquired guy. Do you think maybe they give him a quick audition on the Sharks team before heading to the AHL? Because he would have to clear waivers as well.
Yeah, I definitely do suspect we will see at least one game out of him before he gets sent down, just to kind of make it worth their time here. I mean, getting him in on this fourth line, even just giving him a shot, see how he plays. And if he plays a really good game, you can keep rolling with this guy. But like you said, Graf has been performing very well for the Sharks this season. So I don't see why they would send him down, only other than to help out this Barracudas team. But I think this guy is definitely going to be a good piece for the future. He's 27 in the prime of his career. We could see a late bloomer here in San Jose.
And I mean, looking at this, it also does carry on where Mike Grier made two moves today. And the second one is that NHL Ducks have acquired Justin Bailey from the Sharks for Pavlo Renegade. Sorry if I'm pronounced that completely wrong. But looking at this, we do see Mike Grier make more reinforcement moves for the Barracuda. And looking at Pavlo, he is a guy that has spent a lot of his career in the AHL. He's a undrafted player for the Ducks, but we can see that he has had some stints with the Ducks in 14 games back in 22-23. 1 goal, 2 assists for 3 points. He had a 5-game stint in 23-24, and he has spent a lot of time in the AHL. But once again, this is one of these players where I dove into just looking at how the fan base react to a player like this, and it seems like they were sad to see him go. He seemed like a great teammate and a fan favorite when he got his stints. But looking at this once again, Casey, before we hop into more news on the Barracuda and everything, do you think this is one of the guys that Mike Grier just wanted to pick up to help develop the younger guys in the Barracuda, or could you see a promotion coming for him as well?
Yeah, the big thing here, Regenda, is he's only 25 years old. I mean, he's in his mid 20s. He's one of those guys who's just trying and clawing to get to the NHL level. And we've seen him have some good seasons in the AHL, but it's really the international play when it comes to Regenda. He has played so well for Team Slovakia over his time, whether it's in the World Juniors, whether it's in the World Hockey Championship. This guy has performed very well at the international level. So when you have a guy who's performing like this consistently in the international level, it shows how good of a player this guy is, because performing well at those tournaments is very hard to do. So I really did like this trade from Grier, along with the pickup off waivers of Duehr. I think these are two very solid additions today that are really going to help this Sharks team going forward, especially the San Jose Barracudas for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and like you were saying, when we're looking at his international play, you can see over the past 3 years, most recently logging 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists in 8 games in 2024. He helped Slovakia earn a bronze medal at the 2022 Olympics, finishing the tournament as the second on the team with 3 assists and tied for third on the club with 4 points. You can pause and you can work your way down, but this seems like one of these pickups that kind of helps the Sharks just add more talent. He might not be a guy that's going to join the Sharks team and light up the league. He may not even join the Sharks team at all, but developing through the AHL, we see so many players down. Colin Graff was a player that spent a lot of time in the AHL. Having players around him that can help develop our young prospects coming up, because the Sharks have quite a few of those, and there's even more not in the AHL or NHL at this moment. I mean, Sam Dickinson is the one that pops into mind, but looking at players like this, it just helps so much with the development of the young players coming up. Now, we will touch on just quickly on the Nico Sturm injury. We do see him placed on IR for this team. He will be out for a bit of time, and it does kind of hurt the Sharks teams, as we did see his name just thrown around the trade rumor. I still think he leads the entire league in faceoff percentage at 64%, I think it is. This is a player that a lot of teams are going to be looking at to add veteran depth to their run. With Nico Sturm out, Casey, do you think that hurts his value, or do you think once he gets back, maybe teams still look at him and say, hey, we want this player?
I mean, it's something that it might hurt his value just a little bit. It's not something that's going to take a whole pick jump down or anything like that. But, injuries are part of the game. Every player gets injured. I mean, it's hard to go through a full NHL career or NHL season even without being held out a couple of games. So it is a big blow for the Sharks, no doubt about it. I mean, this guy has played phenomenal for this team at the faceoff dot this season. And he's a guy who a team like maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs, one of these contending teams that need a center, could go after and get. So I don't think it hurts his value too much, but it is definitely going to hurt the Sharks as of now. But we did see Grier go pick up 2 more forwards today in Regenda and Duehr. So both wingers, but, is help nonetheless. They also have some great talent down in the Barracuda that they could bring up for the time being. But I don't think this Sturm injury is going to affect his value, as long as he can come back, play a few games before the deadline, show that he's still got it. I think we'll see a trade happen here.
And we see the Barracuda so close to jumping to the top of the Pacific Division. So adding these reinforcements is going to help this team in the latter half of their season. But what you guys thought on the pickups today? I know they're not major pickups, but these are still pickups that can help with the team now, help the development of others. You have someone like Duehr coming to this team that can help as a fourth liner, being a big, hard forechecker that maybe gets into the position to succeed with the San Jose Sharks. And you also have the Regenda agenda coming in and joining this team where he can help develop the young guys. Let us know below while you're down there. Leave a comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode, so keep your eye out for that. But I've been your host, Mark Pye, with my co-host, KC, and take care.